Hello and welcome to VR Reviews. Today we'll be reviewing the Unifive posing series Cooler. So yes, here we have Cooler. He is in his final form, which is one of my favorite forms of sort of the Frieza-esque characters. He is mildly articulated, as you would expect from this series, and has a pretty nice detail for this scale. So let's go ahead and zoom into the articulation, scope, mate details, all those sorts of things. Alright, starting off with a quick size comparison. Of course, here we have Cooler. Here is the Shoto Super Saiyan Goku, and here is a standard Marvel Universe 3 3/4-inch Wolverine, and a standard Marvel Legends 6-inch Superior Spider-Man. Cooler is another one of these Unifive figures that actually goes really well with the Shoto series. He's really fairly big compared to Goku, so I think that's a good scale usage for him. He is smaller than a Marvel Universe and way smaller than a Marvel Legends, though. Now let's get everything else out of here and just look at Cooler. Alright, moving on to 360 spin, here you can see Cooler. The main part of his body is a dark purple. It has some nice muscle detail to it. And then he's got his sort of armory pieces, which I assume are still actually part of his body, but they're like armor. And they're white. On his wrists, he has spiky bits with little blue circles on them, and he has a similar design on his legs without the spikes. He has three-toed feet down there at the bottom, and then his hands, he has one fist hand and one open hand. On his back, he has some more spikes, and he has his tail, which has a little white tip there. Overall, very cool. He is limited to flying poses, though, because his legs do not move in a way that allow him to stand up, which is why he is on a flight stand right now. Now let's go ahead and zoom in on his head sculpt. Zooming in on the head sculpt, he has this big sort of white, pointy helmet head thing, and then he's got the blue bit there in the center. And then below that, he has his little face mask, which in the movie is actually like it comes in and out, but on this figure it is stationary. And then he's got some red eyes there, which are a bit difficult to see, but they are there. And that's pretty much it. Very accurate to how he should look, so I approve of it. Now let's zoom out and look at some articulation. Articulation-wise, Cooler is very similar to the rest of this series in that he mostly just has articulation in the upper body, and it's sort of randomly spaced out. He has a neck cut, shoulder cuts, he has an elbow hinge, wrist cut, he has a nice diaphragm joint here which rotates and moves around, and then his tail also rotates. So he has a reasonable articulation for this series. You can get him into several poses, you can get him into supernova throwing poses and things like that, so he is pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and take a look at his accessory, which is a base, and we can look at his variant. Here is Cooler's base, which is the standard base for this series. It's got a little clear arm there, which pegs into his butt, so he can fly around, and then it's got an orange base with Dragon Ball Z logo on it. And then here is his black and white variant, which is a practically identical figure minus the paint job. All the articulation and stuff is the same, but he's painted with various shades of gray and white and black. Now that wraps it up for Cooler and all of his accessories, so let's move on to the packaging. Packaging-wise, you get your sort of a store-style display box here, which contains 10 figures, and then you get your little box here, which contains each individual figure, and they're a bit like blind boxes. Obviously, they are not particularly good for in-package display, but they serve their purpose, which is holding figures. So, yeah, Cooler. Alright, that wraps it up for Cooler, so until next time, goodbye!
Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed my videos. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.